15.
Hello everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about King of Fighters 15. It's a long-standing series, been about a 30-year run now. Initially, the game was developed for the Neo Geo, not this game, but just King of Fighters in general. We're going to give you some backstory. And initially, SNK, the developers, wanted to make a beat 'em up. But when games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat really started taking off, they ditched the idea to make a 2D style fighting game. And they were really good at it. So, what was next for the team? Well, about 30 years of games. So, here we are with King of Fighters 15. Here's a fun little tidbit about 15. It was actually written and developed around the time that 14 was being developed. And that's because the developers really wanted to push the idea of having a separate protagonist because they felt as they were getting older, their viewpoints were changing, and they wanted to have that reflect in the game itself. Well, both games now. So it's interesting to see where that went, and honestly, it's really good. So obviously that means King of Fighters 15 continues the story from 14 with a new tournament being held by a mysterious figure, bringing fighters from all over the world. Similar to Street Fighter, I mean, in the same vein, it was a game that was to be, I guess, rivaled with Street Fighter because that's what it was intending to do. And they ended up having games that was like Capcom versus SNK, where you saw Street Fighter and Fatal Fury characters kind of meshing together and fighting together, and it was really cool to see. For the sake of all things, we're just going to refer to this as 15. So 15 is a well-crafted fighting game. It offers a different experience, something that's outside the norm for King of Fighters, giving you a 3-on-3 style, which is different. You can still play one-on-one, but the bulk of the game is focused on 3 versus 3. And it's not in the style that you're thinking of, something like Marvel versus Capcom or anything. It's more of, as the match ends, one person's defeated and then the next fighter would come out, and it's kind of like a survival mode. It pushes you to challenge yourself to not lose one of your team. So it helps, I guess, challenge you. If you really have that mindset, you'd be like, well, I don't want to lose a single fighter, and then you can challenge yourself not to. But more often than not, you will. And you have really, really smooth gameplay to go with it. And honestly, if you're a competitive player, a casual player, it's got a little bit of everything for everybody. The gameplay is incredibly smooth. I sat and played this for hours, and let me tell you something. For me personally, King of Fighters was never my go-to game. I've played the games, I've played some of the series, I haven't played every single one, but for me, I really never went to it. I more or less played games like Street Fighter or Tekken, Mortal Kombat, etc., etc. But 15 and even 14 kind of pushed the envelope with the gameplay, and it was really a lot of fun to see what could and couldn't be done, and to really play around with the combat itself, offering a slew of characters. There's something for everybody. You can customize how the characters look to a degree, more or less just colors, but still you can have your favorite colors showing if you like red, yellow, blue, green, whatever your favorite color is, you can have your favorite character wearing that certain color. And then you could choose your order of how the characters will roll out. So if you have 3 of your faves and you're like, okay, what am I going to do? You can choose who's first, second, and third. It's really, really a lot of fun to just sit down and play this. Look at all these options you have. Look at all these things that you can do with this game. It's crazy. Not only is there a simple practice mode, there's also tutorial modes. There's a versus mode, a story mode, training. There's ranked matches and casual matches. There's literally something for everybody. Being that this game is for casual and competitive players, they have combos that are super simple to pull off, with a lot of the bulk of the technical moves still being there and still feeling very cohesive. It is very insane to me that they were able to pull something like this off. I haven't seen it since um, Persona 4 Arena, where you can pull off simple combos. However, a lot of the bulk was in the technical moves. With things like the max mode system, where fighters can use stronger techniques once the energy bars are filled, or having certain moves that are considered climax versions of the special moves without entering max mode, you would still burn up the bar and meter for a stronger version of a special move. And trust me, that's more worth it in my opinion. It depends on your fighting style, like the way you play fighting games. If you're looking for something more aggro, then you would go ahead and use the max mode. If you're looking for something that you could string together and maximize your combo, then I would say use the climax version of your special move. I think this new interface and the way that they were compiling the moves in this setup helps new players and returning players, and I guess you could say that I am a somewhat in between new and returning, because I've played other games in the series, and I'm also kind of new to it because, again, I played more Street Fighter, Tekken, stuff like that. But I think that 15 is a well-rounded game. It is so much fun to just sit there and mash through. The story mode itself is quite interesting too. And I think honestly what makes the story mode so good in this game is that you have multiple ways of attacking it. Realistically speaking, you can just choose your fighters as you see fit, or they have selected quote-unquote teams that you mesh together, and then the story becomes selective to that team. So I think that it encourages you to play the story as you see fit with the characters that you enjoy, and then return as some of the, teams that are selected through the game. So you may see things from a different perspective, you may see things in a new light, you may have different things happen, there's different dialogues that happen with certain characters. All in all, I think the story itself is very solid. It's a lot to take in if you're just jumping into this, but it's enough to keep you engaged. And honestly, like I said before, choosing your teams is what makes it a fun time, and challenging yourself to play as characters that maybe you haven't played as, and just taking on the new role of a different team would help, change your gameplay in a sense and expand it. So all in all, they did a really, really fantastic job with leaving the open-ended challenge in that sense, but also allowing you to complete the story as you see fit. And don't take it from just me, the game had a extremely positive critical reception, so the stats speak for itself. It's not just me. Also, what this game has to offer is a lot of bosses. I mean, you have a slew of bosses to go through, from Reverse to Atoma Raga, and then you can do a challenge mode, and the challenge mode is quite interesting because you can go back to previous bosses from other King of Fighters games. I mean, that could be a kind of a tongue twister, but anyway, yes, you have multiple challenge bosses, quote unquote, to go through, and trust me, you will lose if you're not ready for it. Get your stuff together before attempting these guys, because you will lose. I promise you that. So for me personally, it's a definite recommend. You should pick this game up and just try it out. See how you like it. if you don't. I know for PSN players it was free about a month or two ago, and I'm pretty sure it's on Game Pass. You may or may not know that I've had a rough time with games lately, having to slog through Contender 1 and 2 and play games like Rascal. So take it from me, I play a lot of bad games. So I'm telling you, this is a really good one that you could sink a lot of hours into. But ultimately, that's where we're going to leave off at. I'm going to let you make your decisions as you play the game. And if you play the game, tell me who your mains are in the comments down below, or up above, or on the side, or on the other side. I don't know. You choose. Anyways, that's enough of me rambling. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. And 1K gang, let's go. If you want to see any of your favorite bad games or worst played games reviewed, drop it down below. Let me know, because I have some ideas for who remembers and all that, but I'd like to see what you have in store for me to rack my brain around, and maybe I haven't experienced that bad game, so it would be very interesting for a first time look. Thank you all once again. We'll see you in the next one.